Throwing ass on the gram, getting laughs at the stand. Only she can, only Feehans. It's only Feehans.
Welcome back, kids. It's another episode of OnlyFeehans with me, your host, Kerryn Elizabeth Feehan, and today my co-host, Michael Elizabeth Feehan.
Co-host? I'm a host? This is great. First episode, I'm already promoted to host. I love it.
I just like...
Welcome to our show. 50-50 split of everything.
Of all profits. Commissions,
revenue. Oh yeah,
everything.
Yep.
No, it's Mike Feeney, you guys. You know him from what's your podcast called now? Because What's the Scenario's over?
Yeah. Well, it was What's the Scenario has been over, and then it was Here's the Scenario, which is also over. So there's no more podcasts. There's nothing.
Just shut up about it.
Yeah. Just stop bringing it up.
Shut the fuck up about it.
Yes. Yeah. I am Mike Feeney on social media, and then a new comedy special, which I would love if you checked out. Which will. Depending upon when this comes out, is probably already out. I hope
it might be Friday and a Friday.
Yeah, if it's after October 27th, I hope, then yes. Or if it's on October 27th, watch it today.
Watch it today, motherfuckers.
Yes.
What's the title of the special?
The title is called Mike Feeney, A Night at the Comedy Cellar. I did all 4 rooms of the Comedy Cellar in one night.
Okay.
I directed it. I edited it. Nicole Lyons was on the camera operating, as well as Toby
talented
McMullen
bitch
and James Webb. So
that's a good crew.
Yeah. And then, like I said, decided to edit it myself, and that's why it's taken almost a year. You know,
I was gonna say that sounds.
It's a nightmare.
Painstaking.
It's the worst. It was the worst. But and especially throwing in at the time having a 10-week-old child. You know, that really complicates things.
Were you just having like a martyr sort of complex?
No,
at that point?
the problem was I shopped the idea to a bunch of production companies, and I was either like laughed at or told that it couldn't be done for less than $200,000. One of the companies quoted me at, and no one could like see the vision of it. So I just kind of started reaching out to people that I thought could help me shoot it. And then, James Webb, the DP, was the one who was like, I fucking love it. Let's rock with it. And then he had all the equipment and shit, and he had his big, stupid steady that thing that he does. And then Toby and Nicole were on the ones and twos making it.
Sounds like a dream team.
It was, and we did a guerrilla style, like literally no additional lighting. We just went into the Comedy Cellar, so it kind of shows just, and
that's
it's quick.
Good vibe.
Yes, and it's 20 minutes. It's
I
fast.
like that. That's consumable. That's gonna crush on YouTube.
Well, here's to hoping. Please go watch it and tell all your friends.
We will. What question? So you've done like sketches and stuff. Did you edit before you edited this?
Yeah, I learned how to edit in college.
Okay.
So any sketch that I've ever done has usually been edited by me for the most part.
Yeah. But it's got to be different editing your stand-up.
It's so much worse in every single conceivable way. I mean, having to watch yourself on camera is so brutal, and then having to edit yourself, and you just see every flaw that you make. Yeah. It's tough. But I will say, to I guess this special's credit is that now I've been able to watch it, and by the end of it I don't want to kill myself. So that I feel like is a ringing endorsement. If I can watch it without being like,
are you really hard on yourself in general?
Sure, aren't we all? I mean, comedians watching your own. Do you ever can you watch your own stand-up 4 months after you put it out, 5 months after you put it out, and then be like, I could have said this, I should have said this, why didn't I put that?
I can't watch like a clip like that that I fucking thought was killer.
Yeah.
6 months, you know what I mean? I go back and I'm like,
it's embarrassing.
Who is she?
The worst part is I feel bad for comics that start, I guess like post-pandemic, because all of them, they're like 6 months into stand-up, they put out crowd work clips and all these clips, and they don't, or their jokes, they don't know how to do comedy yet. And it's like, those things are going to be forever on the internet. And some of them are getting like a decent fan base or whatever, but you're like, that, if you had my clips from the first 5 years of me, first 7 years of me doing comedy, I would live in San Diego right now under a different name.
I try to think of like the 8-minute set I used to do at around the alt scene. What I used to bring to cabin.
Yeah, I was just saying that the other day. I don't know. Someone stop us if we're getting too inside comedy. But I was just talking to a comic yesterday. What's different about the New York comedy scene now is that they pay. Bar shows pay. Like new comics and bar shows pay. And I was saying that to these comics, and they were like, "What do you mean? Like bar shows didn't always pay?" And like the two
No.
best bar shows back in the day,
Did Cabin pay?
Cabin did not pay,
No.
and also like during getting on Whiplash,
But it was
huge.
prestigious. Yeah, I never got on Whiplash.
You and me both, sister.
Look at us now. Fuck you, Whiplash.
Yeah.
That show was always packed. Matchless was another hot one, though. We did Matchless.
We did Matchless. Night Train was big and never did that. But
did I do Night Train?
Probably.
I don't think I did.
You
Night
weren't a
Train.
straight white guy, so you probably got on.
No, I wasn't diverse enough though. But all my I hung with the straight white guy.
Yeah.
I was sort of in that school more than
That's true.
As many black people as I tried to collect as friends.
Like Pokemon, yeah. But then they were.
What was one I was gonna say that was a hot one too? Well, fucking Knitting Factory.
Knitting Factory didn't pay.
Didn't pay.
Nope.
Right.
All these shows did not pay. But now it's like all like young, hot people. They have these email lists and Instagram things. I don't know where these comics who have they're not famous. They don't have anything. They have access to thousands and thousands of emails. Where do they get this? Who?
Maybe they're for sale. Maybe they buy them or something.
But then young hot people show up.
I know, and they're water brains. They'll just laugh at anything, and then it's like the clips go viral, and
it's dumb. That's comedy, everybody.
Hey!
Yeah. This is the
Uh,
real art.
This is it right here.
Yeah, sitting on couches talking about things how it used to be.
The good old days. We you got paid in drink tickets.
Yeah.
And they wonder why so many of us don't drink anymore.
Yeah, and then you say you lost your drink ticket after getting your 2, and then they go, all right, one more just
All
this
right,
once.
last one.
Yeah.
And then you'd go and find the person that wasn't drinking who was on the show. Can I have your drink ticket?
Yeah, someone just in recovery.
Yeah.
And who's just trembling, staring at the tickets, and you're like, oh, take that temptation away from you. Yeah.
Dude, remember like the heavy hitters back then? It was like Brooke Van Poplin.
Oh my God.
Nick Turner.
Yeah.
Like
Nick Vatterott.
Yeah.
Sean Patton though. I remember seeing Sean Patton at Cabin, just like it was like this, when is he gonna go on stage? And then he would go on stage and just
annihilate.
And as well as you thought you might have done, he would just
kill. Make it so that it was so hard to fucking follow.
Yeah.
Him.
I remember
Ali Wong, I used to watch it. She would come to Cabin.
James Adomian would kill too. Yeah.
Dude.
The rest of the podcast is just us naming names. Yeah.
I had a weird night. Well, no, I did. I typically was wasted by the time I got to Cabin because I would go to some shitty open mic first.
Sure.
I don't remember, but like must have been a Thursday, like Creek in the Cave mic or something.
Creek, yeah.
And
Revision
then,
mics.
Yeah.
All those
yes,
things.
Revision. And then I was there and I was making out with Matt Ruby.
Oh, what?
This was 100 years ago. I probably had like my boyfriend that look at Nicole Scurry to pull up a picture of Matt Ruby now.
You were making out with Matt Ruby?
Can I tell you, it was one night, yeah. And he told me or messaged me or texted me the next day that I bit too much.
Oh, man.
At Cabin, dude.
Wow.
Like I feel like every time I was at Cabin, I was almost blacked out. I was either blacked out or almost blacked out. I think Sean Donnelly had to like walk me to a cab one night.
I mean, he probably walked you in an S. That guy also. Everybody was having
we
drinks
were
that
so
time.
wasted.
Yeah.
Michelle Wolf used to get hammered.
See, that's the thing you can't describe to people is like the hang back then. It was like it was a bar.
Party.
It was a bar that was completely dead at the start of the show, and then by the end of the show, the entire bar was almost like it was standing. It was shoved. Everybody was shoved, and the whole length of the bar was all comedians sitting at the bar. Inside the show was a packed showroom of people. Everyone was mingling.
And
it was
like we were good audience members if you were a comic that was in the room.
Oh,
Everybody was all eyes on the comic. Like the energy was just perfect. But once the show let out, like you had probably been like making eyes with the comic you hadn't seen in a while, like over there. So once we all flooded into the bar and like re-got our drinks, it was like, what's this?
Everybody was getting
Selena
hammered.
Kopic used to be so fun.
Every single bartender was the worst person on earth.
Oh, they
Everyone
hated
was
us.
they hated us. Just furious that we were paying their rents for that night.
We were probably cheap though.
I'm sure. Yeah, there's a bunch of comics who probably did not
I
tip.
was like always had like a waitressing job too. So
Yeah,
I usually
same with me.
was a good tipper. But
yeah, you got to tip. I mean, I love that the comics that work at comedy clubs that don't tip anybody, and then they're like, they think that doesn't get around or get back to people.
We all know.
Yeah.
We all know. You're gross.
Yeah.
I overtip. It doesn't ever seem to like come back around though.
Yeah, we always do that. Like, am I going to miss the extra $3?
Yeah,
that
and
kind
it's
of a
like,
thing.
did I really get anything faster?
Oh, that too. Yeah, no, that never happens either. Yeah, I thought you meant the other way. You're like, I'll never miss that money. You're like, am I getting the bang for the buck?
That's what I
the
want.
tipping that I'm hoping I would?
Fucking money's worth.
Yeah.
I just paid taxes, so I'm on like a big like. I paid some taxes. I mean,
Oh, I have to remind me after this podcast to tell you a story. To tell you a story that 100% directly involves you.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Oh, yeah. It's going to ruin your night, I think. It is bad.
Oh, God. Is it about taxes?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. A lot of stuff. Yeah, I was going to tell you before, and then I forgot till you just said that. I was going to say it before we went on the podcast.
You can't tell me now?
I shouldn't say it on the podcast for sure.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
no, it's okay as a whole, but like it's like a major like a major like a breach. I don't know what you want to call it, but like it's not great. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, should we pause the podcast?
Yeah,
and I'll
let's
tell
pause
you?
it. I can't handle it.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
You see what?
And we're back.
Hey, what a fun.
We had to stop the podcast real quick.
What are you going to be for Halloween?
Yeah. Now the best part is going to be watching Kerryn adjust to that and take that in while the wheels are turning in the back, being like, I have some emails to send after this show. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? It is what it is. And namaste. Welcome back. Stretch yourself after you work out. Don't forget about those hamstrings.
Sure. Yeah.
Really try to open those hip flexors if you can.
Yep. I can't touch my toes. Hamstrings are too tight.
Tight hammies.
What are you going to do? You know?
What can you do for that? Do you ever go to any of these roller places? There's a place called...
Like a roller rink?
No.
Oh.
It's like you step in between these like wooden things, and they go round and round and like massage your legs and your body and your arms, and they charge you money. You could masturbate in public if you wanted to.
Yeah, just buy a foam roller.
Yeah,
right?
I guess so.
Yeah.
There's one of these places called Limber too, where they physically manually stretch you, and I kind of want to go to one of those.
Okay. I think just doing yoga more would be helpful for me, but you know.
Are you still in Astoria?
I'm still in Queens. I just moved a little further
Different
out.
neighborhood?
Yeah, but I went back to Astoria today. It was just there. It feels different. It's just garbage, literally litter everywhere. It's
really?
So, like over here is very clean.
Yeah.
But like it's just everywhere I looked. I'm like Oreo wrapper, like tinfoil, just like kind of like.
Are there not enough garbage cans, or is it?
It's probably that. Maybe there's not enough people collecting the garbage,
Right.
and then it's also just kind of like a eat what you're eating and throw it over your
Type of a
shoulder
culture?
and let the next. Yeah,
Is that a Greek thing?
I don't know. That area is not very Greek,
Oh.
actually.
Now here it's like there's so many people cleaning, and then there's like the horticulture people, and there's people who care about the geese, people who are like don't feed the birds, people who feed the birds. My dog eats the birds.
Yeah.
She's doing a new shake and release program with the pigeons.
Sure. My dog has gotten so close, just came today so close, within 2 inches of getting a squirrel. I mean,
nice.
it's his white whale. It's just to get one squirrel.
Mabel's like flat tired them before, like stepped on their tail and flipped them.
Wow. He's never made contact, Jeep, but he's gotten very close, but they're too squirrely.
And they fucking punk our dogs. They shake their tails at them.
They know how to juke them out and everything.
Did your dog know, because you had your dog before the baby?
Yeah.
Did your dog know right away how to be around the baby?
We got the dog specifically. The dog was like in a foster home when we got him, and he was around like two, like new, like a 2-year-old and a like a 1-year-old or something. So he was like around that. And then when we were in the hospital, my mom came to visit us, and then they took like the towel that like my son was like wrapped in, and then brought it back home, so that way he could like get the scent. So that way when we brought but he's the best with it, because now like
the cutest fucking
my
thing.
kid Leo, he's 11 months, so he's standing and he's obsessed with the dog. Anytime he sees a picture of a dog or a video of a dog, he goes like duh, duh. And he starts clapping. He flaps his arms like a Flappy Bird. But all he wants to do is like touch Jeet and like try to pet him. And, we're trying to tell him like gentle, don't like pat him. And, Jeet is such a good soldier about it. But he stares at me the whole time while he's getting like hit. And he's just looking at me like, please do something about this, So
will you be disciplining the child?
Yeah, or shall I? But he hasn't even growled at him or anything. So I've never even heard that dog growl.
No, they're so tolerant.
They're so good. Yeah.
They're so cute.
Dogs are the best.
I fucking love them. Yeah, Mabel, my nephew was just in town. I keep talking about this, but went to the butterfly exhibit in the Museum of Natural History. I don't know if you guys ever want to go on a day trip to see the butterflies.
I think I went to that when I was a kid. It's been there a while, right?
It's pretty cool. I don't know. Was the butterfly thing there for a while?
Wait, butterflies, like I'm picturing the ones that are like pinned to frames. These are like living, they're like flying around.
Yep.
Oh, that I haven't got
They can like land on you, and there's a big silk moth in there, and I can't tell the story again because people will call me out on it. But,
okay.
Just know. Anyway, fun
there's
activity.
Moths.
When maybe when your kid's like 2 or whatever, because my nephew was just in town and my dog was so friggin' cute with him, and now there's like a bunch of playgrounds around here, so we were going to them all, and now she like looks for him at playgrounds as if I left him there.
Yeah, every time
is the kid there?
If I walk my dog and he sees a stroller, he like runs up thinking that my kid's in there. Yeah, it's very
dogs and babies, man.
They're too great. They're very like open-hearted individuals, individual spirits, those little things. Yep. Those little things.
Those little creatures.
Yeah.
Oh man. So Gaza.
That's the show. Gaza. Let's get into it. Let's figure it out right now.
And who better?
Yeah.
Feeney and Feehan on Gaza.
What was it? What did we do? Like Real Ass Podcast together that time?
We had like a nickname.
We are very good at ganging up on Lewis.
I know.
It's a very fun.
It has to be done though.
Sure. It feels like a Cyclops situation. You know what I mean? Like a David and Goliath. You're throwing the little thing, and I'm running over there, tying his shoes together. Yeah. It's very fun.
Yeah, you're tying his shoes together, right? And he's this big monster. I'm throwing little tiny toothpicks up at him.
Yeah, it's a great tag team because he doesn't know how to react to one or the other.
He's like skinny now.
Oh yeah,
he's like really got into like fighting shape.
Yeah, he's when he finds motivation, he really can get into it.
Yeah.
It'll come back.
Yeah, he'll get something. Will make him upset. He'll get fat again.
After the fight, he'll get fat. But I think he needs the fat. The fat fuels everything. He can't just. No one wants to just work out every day for the rest of your life. No. He wants to do it for something, and then when it happens, celebrate with a couple months of eating like shit and doing whatever you want, and then you go, oh goddamn, look at me. Let's get back into shape. Unfortunately, I've never experienced this,
no, I know.
And I feel like you haven't either. But
there was like when I was dating him, there was like a month or two where I was like kind of chubby, like because we both got a little fat together.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever got chubby.
I did. I like had a view of myself, and I was like, oh my god, he's doing it to you.
Like, oh my god, I can't see my ribs, and then it was it.
But no, typically I do get jealous of the people that do get to go through the transformation. They're like, wow, you look great, and it's like, well, you didn't tell them they look like shit when they were packing it on.
That's true. But that's why they do it. He's even talked about that. He said that's why he likes doing it, is because he likes the compliments of like a lot of people notice. I mean, we're talking about him now. Look at this.
True.
He's won because of this.
Yeah, there's nothing for consistency or routine.
Yeah.
Fuck
or
me.
A daily exercise and diet regimen.
Willpower.
No reward.
Nothing for us.
Nope.
He also tries to like inflict his weird dietary restrictions. He's like, I can't have sugar. Like,
I'm like, keto. Yeah.
I'm like, everyone else can. Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. He's not. Those crash diet. Oh, the intermittent fasting, all that kind of a stuff.
I mean, everybody who's normal kind of just does that, to be honest. Like,
who's normal?
I'm like intermittent fast. Like a lot of people stop eating at 10 p.m. There's people who live lifestyles. They're in bed at 9.
Right.
So they're not.
And then you
eating.
wake up, you eat breakfast at 9 a.m. You're like, I fasted for 12 hours.
Exactly.
It's like, no, you had a normal life. You went to bed.
But if you're like, I must stop myself from eating. Go to sleep, you fucking angry cow.
Yeah.
Go to bed.
You angry cow. The chances are you're very sleepy anyway. You know?
Yeah. Your sugars are probably all over the place.
Sure.
Have you been on the road lately? Have you been doing any travel? I was in Dubuque.
What are these
questions?
What are these transitions?
They're non-existent. You dropped a bomb on me. I'm just trying to stay alive. I'm trying to stay alive.
I'm trying to stay alive. You're just like, how many minutes? Okay, what, Dubuque? I don't know.
Dubuque, Gaza, pick one.
Yeah, only one though. It has to be. I don't know. I mean, we just did Skankfest.
You want to talk about?
Oh,
Skankfest was good.
Yeah,
that tent was a good hang. That was where the
good
vibes
tent
were.
hang,
Yeah.
good times.
Yeah.
I do feel like it was too long, and I'll never do the whole time ever again. But it is good to get in.
I left early, and I felt like it was too long.
Last time I saw you, you were on mushrooms, and you were. I saw you when you took the mushrooms, then I saw you a little bit later when it started kicking in, and then I saw you a lot of bit later when you were saying, I have to do the naked roast later, and then I never saw you again.
And then didn't come back. That was night one. But I mean, that was on the schedulers. That wasn't my fault. How could I be expected to?
No, they wouldn't. They should have expected you to take mushrooms at 4 p.m.
2 p.m.
2 p.m.
They should have known that I wasn't going to be ready to judge anything at 11 p.m.
No, I canceled Mike, Brendan, and I all canceled our last spot on the 11 p.m. on Sunday when it's just like the heroin hour, where we all just skipped that and did acid.
I think I was nice.
Yeah.
I think I was on a flight by then. I was on a red eye Sunday. Like, bye.
Yeah.
I gotta go.
They're like, are you coming for your spot? You're like, you're the Delta. Oh. They're like, oh, sorry, I have to go. Safety training's on.
I know. I have to watch this video. I stayed at the Wynn too, which was a beautiful hotel. I loved it there.
Yeah, I heard that. That's so far from where we were.
Yeah, it was like an 18-minute Uber.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't. I just at the Fremont Street. If I'm gonna go there for 3 days, I gotta have some like nice things to look at. And maybe a massage.
Did you have a view of that sphere?
I had a view of the golf course.
Okay, so not the sphere in any way. Okay,
yeah. Golf course is pretty though.
Yeah, it's at the night when you can't see it.
Somebody Dick Feeney. He's probably at the Golden Nugget with a clogged toilet.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
Somebody told me. Shaner told me he didn't have running water.
He was probably in the Carson Tower. I was in the Rush Tower, which is the new tower.
Okay.
467 square feet. Yeah. But when are you even in the room at Skankfest? That's the thing. You're there from 12 p.m. to 1 a.m. and then you do it all over again.
See, I kept going back because I wanted to walk around the luxury mall in my hotel.
What did you buy stuff from a mall?
No.
Right.
I just wanted to walk around it, be near the wealth.
I went to the Cosmopolitan Fest because DeStefano was headlining that.
I
got to sneak away for a little bit there and go that. That was very fun.
That
place is. It is so funny. You see how like even in those beautiful casinos, there's like people in these elegant $5,000 dresses, and then there's like a guy in sweatpants and open-toed flip-flops and a stained wife beater just walking around. You're like animals. Yeah. Every single
they just
person.
Let him in.
He spent his month earning on being here this weekend, and he's dressed like an animal. You know? But I kind of respect that. I like that there's no putting on airs. You're like, I've spent my money to be here, and I will dress how I please.
Right. The lady with like the long hangy tits, like I think she painted them like eyeballs when you first walked in. I think she was legless also in a wheelchair. That's
you see nothing after the long tits with the googly eyes on them. You're like, did you even have arms?
What's
Who
under
knows?
there? It's like gravy on top of mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
What's under there? But that's like a visual that I can't get out of my head no matter what I do. So there's just some parts of Vegas that, make me sick. And, I don't know what to do with that. But the pool there was just luxury. They walk around with frozen grapes for you.
Frozen grapes?
Yeah, then the little cup they give you 4 little grapes.
I like that.
Yeah. You would have liked that.
Would have liked
You're
it,
bougie. He's a bougie
Maybe
guy.
I do enjoy the finer things.
I know. I haven't been traveling like worldwide very much. Have you traveled the world?
I go to one new country, one new state every year. Minimum one new state. Usually it's more because of comedy, but like Eric and I would try to go to one new country, one new state every
awesome.
year. Yeah,
What's the last country you went to?
This year was just Aruba,
Aruba.
But we also had the kid, so it felt like it was impressive just to get out of the country.
Right.
So yeah.
Flying with the kid, how was that?
Actually wasn't bad at all. Like it was just like it's just more like his time zone, like switching up his nap thing is like fucked it up, but it's like, he was still he's still breastfeeding, but he was still breastfeeding at the time, so it's great. Anytime he got even a little bit fussy, it's just like,
there you go.
You shove a tit in any boy's mouth or man, they will stop crying, stop complaining. They'll get pretty quiet
My
pretty
sister
quick.
had a tough time breastfeeding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've done a lot of countries. It's been very cool to like kind of, and what's crazy is there's like, I think TripAdvisor or one of these websites, you can do like a my travel map and you can put all the cities you've ever been in, and then it shows you like you've been to like 10% of the world or whatever. And so I think I'm at like 10% of the world, which is crushing because it's so little of the world. And you're like, even if I went to a new country every month, I wouldn't see everything, you know? And I kind of have like I love like seeing new things and like going to other cultures.
What's something you haven't seen that you want to see?
Oh my God. I mean, 90%. I haven't been to anywhere in Central America. I haven't been to anywhere in South America. I haven't been to anywhere in Asia. I haven't been to Australia. I haven't been to like anywhere in Africa.
What about Japan? Does that count?
That's Asia,
Is
yeah.
Asia?
But no, still no.
You should go to Japan.
I would actually. That's very high on my list. That's like a top 3
You would
places
be able
to
to
go.
like, I feel like navigate Tokyo. I feel like New Yorkers would be able to navigate.
For me, it's great. I'd be 2 feet taller than everyone.
You could see
I
over
could just
every
see,
single person.
Yeah. Oh,
They'd
it's
also
great.
probably try to make you like a movie star.
Yeah, I would love to be. Maybe that's it. Maybe I go over there, be a movie star, and just
later.
clean up. Yeah, it would be great. That would be great, dude. If they were like, you go to Japan right now, we'll give you a 5-picture deal. I'll be like, I've never lived in America. I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm on the flight tonight.
I hate them.
Yeah. It's just it's crazy. There's just too much to see. Do you ever feel like that? Do you ever get overwhelmed by wanting to see things, or you don't care about travel?
No, I do. I was supposed to go to Saint-Tropez this June with my mom, but her she had to have surgery on her foot, so we canceled the trip, which is like a big bummer.
Yeah.
Because I haven't been anywhere in a really long time outside of the U.S. Like I went to Paris when I was younger and Canada, but I really want to travel more.
It's so different when you're younger too. Like I went to Ireland when I was like a teenager, and then I went to Ireland in 2019, and I loved it when I was a teenager, but in 2019 I'm like, I will die here. You know, like it just is like, it's the like for me that's like everything that I want, because it's just, those bars are just so great, because it feels like the whole neighborhood is in the bar, and then they have like the little bands playing in the corner that's like not too loud, where you can still have a conversation, but it's beautiful ambient, and they have the little nooks that you all can tuck into and have things. Oh my God. And Galway is just like one of my favorite places in the world. But does
your wife feel the similar way?
Yeah, she loved it. We also I mean, Italy also is like a top experience place we've ever been in. The food, it just gets better. I feel like I've been to that exact bar.
Really?
That's crazy. That looks
Nicole's
like
good at that.
If that's in Galway,
She's
been
good at
there, but it
jumping in
also
your
could be
brain.
a bunch of different things.
Yeah, I've never been to Ireland. My parents went there on their honeymoon. I'm named after the Ring of Kerry. That's high on my list too. And people are like, they comment on my clips. A lot of Irish people. I mean, I was just dating an Irish guy for a second. He's from Limerick.
Oh.
Stab City.
Is that what it is? Stab City?
It's a dangerous part of Ireland.
Oh. We had such an awesome time in Ireland, because we did like Galway. We did like the whole kind of loop of the coast there, and then I had some shows in Cork, and then I did a show in Dublin, and then we were doing. I was in Dublin, and I saw this poster for the fucking Impractical Jokers, and I was like, they were playing at the arena, and I texted Sal, and I'm like, are you in Dublin right now? And he was like, yeah, come to the show.
Nice.
And my wife and I, we had stayed out. It was the night after I had shows. So like that night before, we had stayed out till 4 a.m. And Erica was like, and I ended up getting, but Erica was like, so like almost hospitalized level sick. Like if this was 6 months later, we would have been like, she had brutal COVID, but it was like a flu, like horrific fever, couldn't breathe, and we were still traveling and still drinking about 10 drinks a day. Just we were like hot toddies because they're healthy. Yeah. And then we were in Dublin, and we stayed out till 3 a.m. I had no voice left. And then we were so hungover. We were in this fucking insane 5-star hotel in Dublin. And Erica's like, I'm not doing anything the entire day. And I'm texting with Sal, and he's like, come to the show. And it's like, we gotta go to this, because it's like we get to be backstage at an arena. That's a cool, who knows? And it was their last stop on their European tour, so they were gonna have like a big party afterwards. And I was exhausted too, but I'm like, this is a life experience. You gotta go.
You have
and
FOMO.
we like argued about it for like a couple hours, and I got her to go, and then we ended up with
poor thing.
It was like a thing of being like, believe. And now of course she looks back on it like, yeah, that would have been such a mistake if we didn't go. And we were there. Steve Byrne was there, and I mean, we just drank I mean, we drank a bottle of Jameson before we left the venue, and then we went out to a bar, which was like traveling with them is like traveling with the Beatles. Even in Ireland, like there's like people like banging on the window of the van as they drive by. And then we drove downtown, and they had this like back room reserved in a bar. And like the second we got into this bar, which again was nowhere near the venue, people were like Selmer, like they're like freaking out. They're like they're free, you know. People like trying to sneak into the back. Then they ordered like 50 pizzas. They like, you know, they're so, you know, they were really celebrating. It was just such a fun way to end a trip. And then we stayed out too late that night, and we had like a 7 a.m. flight, and we were just the most miserable.
You got made it though?
We made it, but we were just like, it took us like a week to recover, and we were both so sick afterwards. But it's one of those things where you go,
worth it.
Yeah, dude. Like I did the same thing in Portugal. We stayed in Barcelona, I should say. We stayed out all night going to this like club called Razzmatazz. If you talk to anybody who's ever been to Barcelona, they know this place, Razzmatazz. It's 4 floors, and they have different music playing in each room. So it's like EDM, then there's rap, then there's top 40, then there's like weird rock music. And we just stayed up. Yeah, that's it. And we just stayed up all night until we had to go to this venue, until we had to go right to the airport. And it's a thing you can only do, I think, in like your 20s. You know what I mean? I couldn't do that now, but you know, life experience. You got to do it.
How are we for time, Nicole? I don't know where my phone is, and I'm not paying attention.
It says it's almost that time out there. There we go. Okay.
But I don't know. What time do you have to leave by? I don't know what time it is. It's 7:57 right now. All right, so we do another 5. You got to get there by 8:30.
8:30 is the spot. Yeah.
We'll do another 3. We'll wrap it up because I just don't want him to be late for a spot.
Is this a bad episode?
No, this is a good episode. Okay. I just don't want you to be late for your spot.
You're like, let's cut it short.
Not at all.
I have calls to make.
I'm such a fucking idiot. I was supposed to have a Zoom call today at 4 p.m. Pacific time. If you're going to have a Pacific time, you have to say that 18
times. In the parentheses,
in capital letters.
4 p.m. and then like 7 p.m. your time, by the way. You know what I mean?
Could you do that? Yeah. Why can't they do that?
It's a human thing to do, I think.
Anyway, so I'm an idiot. But that's so cool. Yeah, when I went to Paris, I was only 17, but it's like we could drink. And my French teacher who took us, she had been to Paris like 23 times. So
oh my God.
She was obsessed.
So she had the hookup. She knew all the places.
Everywhere. Like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And every dinner was just like different vibe, but like course after course, and different wines with different meals. And like then she would like let us go out, and like we would like find like little nightclubs here and there, but like I don't know, we were pretty well behaved. My roommate in the hotel did vomit the first night we were there, but
I love Paris. I mean, Paris gets such a bad rap, and I feel like it was a beautiful. It was really cool. Well, my wife and I, we like walked we did so much like touristy sightseeing shit that we were so exhausted, and it was like right as like dusk and sunset was coming, we were gonna go to like the Eiffel Tower and like maybe look around there. And then we just, we saw it. We were at like the front of that mall where it is, and there's like a bunch of steps leading up to it.
The Place de la Concorde?
Sure. And we were there, and we saw it, and we were like, you know what? Fuck, walk. Because it's one of those things where it looks close, but it's like probably like another half mile or a mile. It's farther away than it looks. So we just went into a liquor store, got 2 bottles of champagne in brown bags, and then sat on the steps and just like watched it like get lit up, and like they do like weird like little light shows on it and stuff, and we just sat there like homeless drunks, just drinking champagne and kind of looking at the Eiffel Tower.
I tried on a dress, and I didn't know how to convert francs to American, or I
francs.
Thought I did.
Is it francs?
That's what it was when I went there. That's how old I
Wow, that was like 1973. No, okay.
It's like 2000, 2001.
Sure.
But so this dress, I thought it was 16, and I also I moved the decimal wrong or something.
Sure.
I thought this dress was $1,600, and it was $16,000.
Oh my God.
And I tried it on and had this woman, because I weighed 89 pounds when I graduated high school, and that's when I was in Paris. This woman put safety pins, little like pins, all the way up and down this like silk dress.
Sure.
And she was gonna take it in to fit me, and she's like, "Oh, don't worry, I'm not gonna charge you anything." I'm saying all this in French too, because my French is great. I'm like, French 5 honors, blah, blah, blah. And then I went to try to buy it with my mother's credit card, and it didn't go through, thank God. But then I came home.
How pissed was that woman when it didn't go through?
I bet she was livid.
That was her commission for the month.
100%. She's like, "Oh, this dumb American. I am going to take all of her money."
You were so mad.
And then I got home and I saw the dress on the cover of Cosmo, and I was like, "Mom, I tried to buy that." And she's like, "What the fuck?"
That's Renee Zellweger's dress.
What do you mean? All right, let's wrap this up so you can get to your spot at New York Comedy Club. Tell all the folks special
everyone.
coming your way, guys.
Yeah, it's out now.
Let's rack up these numbers.
Yes, youtube.com/Mike Feeney Comedy. Mike Feeney and Night at the Comedy Cellar. I am Mike Feeney on social media, but go watch the special. Please tell some friends, share it with some friends, leave a nice comment.
Leave a comment, like, subscribe, share clips. Don't be a fucking asshole.
If not for me, then for Nicole. And
Do
for
it
Kerryn.
for Nicole.
Yeah.
Thanks, Fiend Dog.
Bye.
Throwing ass on the gram, getting laughs at the stand. Only she can, only Feehans. It's only Feehans.